Hey everyone, Kathy the Vegan Prepper here with a zero waste shopping haul, all about all these little things that I have bought recently to replace items in my life where I was ready for a zero waste or more eco-friendly alternative. This is by no means saying that you should just rush off and go shopping and buy all these things if you still own alternatives at home, but rather to sort of show you potential areas where you might be creating waste and not even know it. And because awareness is like the first thing, because certain things here, even I was just recently like, oh yeah, like I didn't even think about the fact that I was throwing this away. Anyway, so let's go ahead and get right into it. So first three things I got off earthhero.com. I love them so much. I'm going to link them down below. I am not sponsored, but they are fantastic and they're a great company. And they have a lot of wonderful zero waste options. So first of all, it is time for me to replace my dish block, which I got in the first zero waste haul video that I did. And I guess I'll also link that down below. And so I loved that thing, but they were out of it. And so I got a 3-pack of a new type, this Melora dish soap Meliora? I don't know, dish soap that is lemon scented, which I love, but it wasn't just about the lemon scent. It was because I know that lemon has cleaning power. And so I was assuming that this would have potentially a boost or an advantage over the last one. My first impression is that they are smaller than I expected them to be. Also, apparently soap dust makes me cough. This is like my 4th take. And every time I pull one out of this box, I start coughing. So anyway, it smells amazing, but yeah, it does have like soap dusties on it. So I'm going to go ahead and put that back. But yeah, I got a 3-pack, and then hopefully I'll go through the first 2. And then when it's time to replace the last one, I hope my old one will be back in stock. But of course, who knows? I might like this better and then buy this again. And I did take the scraps from my old soap and turn it into its own liquid soap. And I have filmed a video on that, but let me know if you want me to go ahead and try to get that out. It's essentially just covering it with as much water as it takes to cover it and then heating it until it dissolves and then putting it in an old dish soap bottle. That's all that there is to it. So I have a liquid soap sitting on my counter right now, but it's the one that I made, not one from the store. But I'm reusing the bottle of an old one that I had bought from the store. Anyway, so continuing the dish theme, I am almost out of my old Cascade Platinum dishwasher detergent things, and I have only recently learned about this company called Drops. And so it's great. There's no plastic here, no microplastics either, super eco-friendly, good for the environment. And it's essentially just the same, allegedly. I have not used them yet. It's the same as any other dishwasher thing where you just sort of pop it in. So it's convenient and easy to do. And they're vegan and cruelty free and all of that. And so the whole thing is 100% encased in cardboard. There is no plastic at all in this packaging, which I really appreciate. And they do specify that their packaging is compostable, as well as this one. I didn't mention there's a little thing down here. It's not only recyclable, it is compostable. So these packages are going to just end up in my garden eventually, nourishing my plants. And I love that. The soap. Okay. The last thing from earthhero.com is this compostable vegan floss. And I cannot even tell you how long I have looked for and wanted a compostable vegan floss, because the only vegan flosses available are made of nylon, which is essentially a plastic that lives forever in the oceans as soon as you're done with it and harms marine life and all of that. So that's one of those kind of gray areas where, had I not found this one, I would probably have purchased a zero waste silk floss, even though it is not strictly vegan. That's kind of one of those areas where I talk about in my Am I Really Vegan video, where you have to kind of look at your reasons for being vegan. And one of my huge reasons is for the environment, but also I have to weigh the harm of this item over like to the creature that created it versus the creatures that would be harmed by not making that choice. So it's kind of like, do I care more about worms or dolphins? we're going to like, probably dolphins would win there. I shouldn't be speciesist or whatever, but like, come on, dolphins win. So I was going to purchase the silk floss so that it could be compostable and not end up in just the mess. Because you can imagine billions of people flossing, hopefully flossing, taking care of your teeth. It creates so much waste. Just like the plastic straws, just like these things that we just throw away and we don't even think about them, you know, it never goes away, literally never goes away. And that's kind of like one of those awareness things, like it can be overwhelming, I know, but I'm really excited that this option exists. A lot of reviews say that it shreds itself. I hope that's not true. But we're gonna see, and hopefully not. So this packaging is recyclable, but it is also kind of plain cardboard. I don't know at all why on earth this would not be compostable, so I'm gonna go ahead and compost that with the other ones. But this one is packaged 100% glass, metal, no plastic at all in this packaging. And it's like really cute. I don't know if you can see the pattern. It's a really adorable pattern on here. And then it's got this little piece right here, just like a regular flosser. You pull the floss out and then you can just cut it and floss your teeth with it. And this is also refillable. The little metal piece that you cut the floss on pops right out. And then you can buy new refills, which you stick right back into this jar and then you replace your floss. I don't know how the refills are packaged because I was seeing how this floss behaves before I buy the refills. So hopefully it's good. So I'm really like, cross your fingers, guys. But as with the last haul video, I'm going to do another video in about a month or two telling you exactly how these things performed and how they behaved, whether or not they were worth it. And then we'll be able to kind of discuss that. Once I have used these in my own home, I'll let you know how it goes. And I'm really looking forward to that. So I'm grateful that I don't have to hurt any worms. I don't want to hurt the worms either, but dolphins. Okay, so the next thing, next two things are not Earth Hero, but I had to replace my sunglasses. They finally broke. I use cheap stuff for the most part, you guys. This is like brand new for me to start kind of investing more in purchasing things that are meant to last a really long time and are well made. So my sunglasses broke. Sunglasses are like essential here where I live in Arizona. The sun is so bright, it's so hot. Very necessary. So I was going to replace my sunglasses. I searched many companies out, and many companies are doing great things, amazing things, but also many companies have sunglasses that are like $350. And I was like, I'm not investing that much, okay? So I had to find a compromise. And what I found was Proof Eyewear, and I really like them. I liked the company. I liked the product. I liked their wooden frame glasses. They're cute. They have glass lenses, so there's no plastic on the glasses. They would potentially biodegrade, but also hopefully not until long after you were done using them because they're very well made and put together. And they range in price anywhere from like $60 to $115, which is still more than I thought I'd ever spend on a pair of glasses. I found a pair of clearance ones that were on clearance for $45, and that is still more than I have ever spent on a pair of sunglasses in my life. I still think it's kind of ludicrous, but I understand smaller companies, they're not charging as much because, or they have to charge more because they're not, you know, giant corporation conglomerate, whatever, you know. There's a lot of reasons that these giant companies can charge super cheap prices. There's a human cost, there's a planetary cost. We're not going to get into it. Oh my gosh, this is a happy zero waste haul video. We're not going to talk about all this stuff. But as I was waiting to spend the money on these glasses, my husband remembered this pair of glasses that my son wanted to give away. He was done with them. He didn't care about them. And they were in the giveaway pile out in the garage. It's these old Vans sunglasses that my husband actually won at work at some point in some raffle. These came with glasses, shoes, everything. And he found them and I put them on and I was like, well, for one, not bad, right? But for two, now I don't have to spend $45 on a pair of glasses from Proof Eyewear, which is super happy to me too, because I don't like spending the money, y'all. It's kind of fun to get new things, I guess, but there's still part of me that's just like, Like, I could have bought so many beans with that $45. So anyway, but this is in here not because it's like a specifically beautiful eco-friendly design. Obviously this is nothing but plastic, but it is what I had on hand. And the thing is, one of the things that I think a lot of people don't think about is that the most zero waste eco-friendly option that you can probably do for almost anything is to just keep using what you have on hand. Now, certainly there are exceptions. I can't think of any off the top of my head right now, but I'm sure somebody in the comment would be like, well, what about this thing that's like super obvious and dangerous and awful? And I would be like, yeah, I guess so. Anyway, there are exceptions, but just using what you have, you know. So even though I'm kind of destroying some of my eco cred by walking around wearing giant plastic sunglasses, they were used by my own son and heading for the giveaway pile anyway. And that's another idea. Buying things secondhand at Goodwill or other kinds of thrift stores is another great eco-friendly option, because then new things are not created. You're just using something that is already in existence and didn't have to be manufactured again, because you're using the thing that's already there. And that is also a really great eco-friendly option. So it's just like an idea to throw out there to maybe expand your awareness and hopefully, you know, help you make some good choices. So even if you don't have the budget to spend on certain things, you probably have a Goodwill budget, you probably have a thrift store budget, and can find a lot of things that way, whether it's secondhand clothing or whatever. So moving on to my last item, which is actually my favorite, is my brand new pen. I used waterproof pens for multiple reasons. I write on the outside of my packaging when I mail my Etsy orders, things like, I don't know what's going to happen to them. I want messages to stay clear, even if they encounter rain or whatever. And then also I am an artist a little bit, like a little bit of a budding artisan, I guess. I like to draw and paint with watercolors, and a lot of times I like to outline and then draw like watercolor inside of my outlines. And so that requires a waterproof pen. And I was using these, I think Uniball, whatever, Signo something pens that are waterproof and archival quality, and 100% plastic, you know, in a plastic thing is how they come. And so I used my last one finally. I had bought them like 3 or 4 years ago, and I finally used my last one. And I was getting ready to buy another pack, and then I suddenly remembered that a more zero waste, low waste option is a refillable fountain pen. And I started doing research on fountain pens, and I found a fountain pen and a waterproof fountain pen ink. I want to share that with you guys. It does not, yours don't have to be waterproof, but I'm just letting you know it exists in case that matters to you as well. So this one I bought on Amazon. We're going to have another video someday explaining why I don't like Amazon, but I will say that this item came to me packaged in a 100% craft, kind of cardboardy paper envelope, which was just 100% recyclable. And so I really do appreciate that Amazon is beginning to take those steps, because when giant corporations begin to take those steps, that is huge. So awesome. Props to them, even though I'm still going to talk bad about them behind their backs in another video. But I did buy them this because it was like a $13 or $14 fountain pen, which looks amazing, and I love it. It writes absolutely beautifully. This did come packaged in a little plastic sleeve, which is sad, but it's still far less plastic even than just the packaging of the pens I normally buy, not to mention the pens themselves. And then, like I said, 100%, or did I say 100% metal construction on this pen, except for perhaps this little emblem right here. But even still, the reason I went with kind of a cheaper Amazon pen was because I was not ready yet to spend $60 or more on a fancier fountain pen from a small business like fountain pen supplier online. I just wasn't ready to do that because I don't know if I like this or if this is even going to work for my needs. However, I'm in love so far. It's been about a week, and I don't see myself ever going back to a regular pen. Like I said, this thing writes very well. It's excellent quality. I'm going to link this specific pen down below so that you can check it out for yourself. And then also this ink that I found was Noodler's Ink waterproof fountain pen ink. And you have to find a specific fountain pen ink, which is one of the things that I researched, because like an India ink will clog your pen really bad. So you have to find specifically fountain pen ink. And it came in this glass jar. So excited about that. So the only plastic would be this lid, but you know, I'm going to use the heck out of this jar, like reuse it once it's empty. But I think it's going to take like until I have grandkids for this thing to be empty, honestly. Or maybe even longer, because I potentially could have grandkids in like 5 years. So no, I was just saying, like, it's going to last a really long time. When I refilled this pen, or filled this pen for the first time, I didn't even notice that the level of this ink went down. So it's probably going to take forever. So this fountain pen, much like other fountain pens that you could get, it came with a converter, which is this piece inside that holds the ink. And you can see that it's like a little lower because I've been writing with it. But the concept is that you stick this into the ink, like up to here, and then you can twist this down. Then there's a plunger that will go down. I'm not going to do that right now because I'm going to get ink everywhere. And then you just twist it back the other way, and the plunger rises and draws ink up into the well. And then you end up with ink in your pen, and you just give it a quick wipe with like a rag or a reusable cloth or whatever. And then you have yourself a 100%, almost as close as you can get, pretty much zero waste pen. And I am so excited about this. I might buy another one just so that I can have one on my desk and one in my purse, so that I don't have to keep remembering to like switch it. For instance, when I go to church, I'm going to take notes at church or whatever. But I am super in love with this thing. I could not be happier with this. So yeah, I used up all my waterproof pens, and now I have this one. I have not yet tried doing an outline drawing and then painting over it. So that will just end up being part of my review with the 2-month whatever review with these products. And I can tell you guys, you know, what's going on. It might not necessarily be 2 months. I think the last time was just because I kind of forgot. It was like full on quarantine when that was all happening. So the days just kind of went away. But yeah, I love that. So I guess the two things I think here that were like, for me, even almost like a realization I had to have was the pen, and then also the floss, kind of realizing, oh yeah, that's like a really wasteful thing. So at some point I will probably begin to do videos. And if you want to see videos that aren't just showing like little pieces, but you want to see a full-on bathroom, zero waste, dental, whatever, and then kitchen, zero waste dishwashing video, and then, you know, laundry and all that stuff. If you want to start seeing more, like to sort of put them together like that, that's great. But again, this is about just showing you what I'm replacing as I'm replacing it, so that you can kind of get ideas and see also that it's a process. And it's not, I don't consider myself to have arrived at a zero waste life. I'm still working on it, but you know, we get closer every day. I think we get better and better. And it's definitely not some hugely dogmatic thing. Like occasionally we still buy, you know, bags of chips or whatever, and then the plastic of the bag gets thrown away, and, you know, hopefully eventually there will be options, right? But we don't 100% deny ourselves everything, but we take every step that we can. And that isn't like, doesn't start feeling oppressive. Do you know what I mean? Like there's a point at which you can begin to feel oppressed when you're trying to make a change, and then the tendency becomes to rebel against that and quit or say, who cares? I can't do it all. You know, so just do what you can do. Everybody do what they can do. Making, you know, 1 million people making imperfect choices is better than like the 2 or 3 fringe people that would do it 100%. You know what I mean? So we're all getting there. And then even like with this pen being shipped in that thing from Amazon, changes are being made in general to our society that are far reaching and moving us forward into a better realm. And so hopefully we are going to be seeing huge improvements in that. And yes, I am hopeful and optimistic. And that is basically my zero waste haul. If you like this and you want to see more, let me know in the comments down below. Let me know if there is anything very specific that you would like to see. And thank you as always. Your support means the world to me. Seriously, comment. I love reading your comments, okay? And responding. So yeah, I guess that's it. So as always, I hope the rest of your day is good and your life stays wonderful. Thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.